My name is Graeme. I am a sheep farmer in the south of Caithness, Dunbeath. I have a small farm, 50 acres, and I run 250 sheep whose main crop is wool, which makes me unusual in the modern world. I think is the easiest way to describe it. Most wool production anywhere in the world, except for specialist stuff, is a byproduct of the meat industry. I've turned that on its head over the last 10, 11 years. Now, meat is a byproduct of my wool industry. The sheep exist on my farm to produce wool within the greater welfare of the farm. I think of it as whole farm health. But to achieve maximum health, you have to care about everything. You have to believe that worms, bugs, moths, the diversity in the sward, the variety of natural or man-made environments have to be as healthy and as diverse and uninterfered with as possible. And the sheep live within that greater environmental matrix and are a tool that you use to holistically manage them. I have on my farm a field that hasn't been ploughed since the war, 1940s, since they stopped using horses for ploughing. The keystone species I use to measure the health of this field is the lesser butterfly orchid. Plant Life Scotland came round. They were surveying all over Scotland looking for orchids and rare orchids, yes, and they almost tore their hair out with joy when they found 35 tucked away in a corner of this field. Last time I did a survey, which was summer before last, we had 165, and we achieved that increase by using the sheep as a method for preventing those orchids and other associated species from being overwhelmed by more dominant, coarser, taller species. Having a keystone metric is a really useful tool. And the sheep, this is to the benefit of the health and well-being of my sheep. Because when the last of the orchids drops its flowers, that is when I put my sheep back in. So they've had maybe about 10 weeks with stock exclusion. And then late summer, just before the lambs get weaned from their mothers, you can put the whole mob in, and it's such a happy day. They are so pleased. They run and they self-select little nibbly bits left and right. This is a way of improving biodiversity and environmental diversity, not at the expense of stock, but in conjunction with appropriate and sensitive and imaginative use of stock. The kind of sheep that I keep two kinds. One is my own special breed, Balaklai sheepies. Balaklai being the farm name here. Balaklai sheepies are descended from traditional old-fashioned North Country Cheviots. Their feet are suitable for standing in very acid soils. The second breed I keep one of Britain's rarest native breeds. It's a Castlemilk Murret. Those sheep have an economic activity through providing me with wool for specialist yarns that more than justifies their existence in a commercial sheep operation. I literally take a ball of wool and I'm putting it in the hands of the person that's going to end use it, make something with it. So the profit margin is all in my pocket. So think about the difference that makes to how I can afford to look after my sheep and look after the environment. And one hand washes the other. The more I look after the health and the well-being, the healthier and the better the sheep, healthier and the better the fleece is, the more money I can get for it, the more people want it, because people want animals to be looked after well. And incidentally, it makes me happier, and it's not the money. It really is. I'd probably do this even if it didn't make any money, but it does. Recreating a vital industry to support farming and crafting and small and medium-sized businesses of all descriptions. It can be achieved. What we all would like to see, whether it's smallholders or big farmers, is we would like to see the same thing, and the way to do it is make the economic argument, not the moral argument. Moral arguments is made, whether it's climate change or animal welfare. It's made. Getting people on scale to make that change. It's an economic argument only. The environmental side of what I do is not disconnected from the economic, hard-nosed business side of things. Most farmers assume that it will be. It's counterintuitive to farmers, but also I think for most people, the more I push on improving the environment, the better the farming side, the better the sheep farming, the healthier and more productive, more profitable the sheep are.